when the monkey has collected all the bananas, a game over message is broadcast ending the game. We're going to make a sign to tell the player how many launches were used to collect the bananas. So we're going to go into make a sprite and we're going to make our own. Sorry, I meant to click the paintbrush tool. So paintbrush tool. And we're going to make a sign that says well done. You can make it as fancy or as directive as you want, but you want to leave a space. So watch. For example, let's just say, take my text tool, I'm going to type well done. You used, and I want to leave a space, launches. Leave a space in between. Now this is very plain. Like I said, you could be decorative or whatever you want. Now we need to add a variable for all the sprites to count the number of launches. We're going to call this variable launches. So we'll go back to our code, click on make a variable, and call it launches. For all sprites, and we're going to say okay. Now we want to change the variable so it's a large readout. So right click on the variable and get large readout. This way it just shows the number and doesn't show the name of the variable. So now we're going to use these code blocks on the sign. So once again, everything starts when we click on the green flag. We want to set the launcher to 0 because we're starting from scratch. So I'm getting my set block and I'm changing the variable to launches. And now I need to be careful because I have a launches and a launch speed. So I'm making sure I have my launches. Then I want to hide the variable because I don't want to see it. So I'm going to hide the variable of launches. And then I'm going to hide. You don't want to see the variable until the game is over. That's why we're doing this. And then I'm going to looks and we will hide it. Now we need to set up the message. So on the event, we're going to take when I receive, and this is the broadcast. So remember earlier we made that broadcast message called game over? We're saying when I receive the game over, we want your sign to go right in the middle of the coordinate of our stage. So that is the x coordinate 0 and the y coordinate 0 to put it right in the middle. We want it to be on the front. So under looks, we need to find go to. Here's go to front layer. So we're saying go to the middle, put it on front, and then show because we had it hidden. So we're having it showing. So what are we showing? We want to make sure we are showing the variable launches. And this will show the variable of how many launches it is to end the game. And then we want everything to stop. So we will go to control. Oops, sorry about that. And we will stop all. The last thing we want to do is when the spacebar key is pressed, so we go to events. So when the spacebar key is pressed, we want it to change the launch by 1 because each time you press the space bar, it launches the monkey. So that's how it keeps track of how many launches it does. So we're going to change launches by 1. Will you run the game and collect all the bananas? When you see the well done sign on stage, drag the launches counter into the gap in the sign. Okay, so basically you're going to play the game, and what you want to do, you can put the launches counter right in here. Now if this doesn't fit so great, you can always go back in and edit. So I can go back to costumes now and I'm like, ooh, I need a little more room in here. So I can put a little more space in here. And maybe I need to slide it over a little more. So you can do your editing under costumes. Costumes. So I can fix it. And remember, you can make it fancy if you want. It's really up to you. I'm just trying to move this over. If you want to add some kind of backdrop, you could go into backdrops and choose some kind of backdrop that you want. Or you can create your own. Or you can find an image and upload something that you want to look better. Also, you're going to want to put some basic directions in the corner so they can see, because basically, how do we start? Press spacebar to fire. Okay, so you can show different things. So, launch angle. Oops, sorry, text box. I can say launch angle. I can use which arrow keys. Launch speed. You can mark the arrow keys and press space to fire.